Alright guys, I'm going to show you how to change the rear brake pads of a Lexus Ct200h. I already got the wheel out. Now what I did is I put some PB Blaster onto this bolt over here, and this is going to make things a lot easier because it's holding the brake line. So what we're going to do is remove this so we can free up, so we can have more space to work. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove this bolt and this bolt, which is holding your calipers. Of course, you want to make sure safety first. Chalk the wheels, jack up your car, and your door is either open or your 12-volt battery is disconnected so that the brakes don't pump. When you get close to the door, you open the door. Okay, I got the bolts removed. The caliper should slide out. For reference, this is a 12 millimeter and these are 14 millimeters. So that's all you really need for this job. Alright, the caliper is out. Carefully rest it somewhere. You gotta watch out for the lines, and you gotta watch out for this. I believe this is an ABS sensor. You gotta watch out, make sure that that thing does not get too contacted. This parking brake line is going to touch this, so just be careful. So here you remove these two springs. Your kit should come with new ones. So this is in the way. Okay, and then now the brake pad should come right off. Of course it won't because it's rusted and it's been sitting there for years. So I gotta play with it and get it out. Brackets that it's in, make sure the brackets, these brackets that I personally like to keep Lexus ones. Mine look good. I'm gonna inspect them, make sure. If you have the Lexus original ones in, then leave them alone because you know Lexus quality is gonna be better than whatever brakes you're getting. You can use brake cleaners to clean it up a little bit. Alright, now the fun part. So most of you probably clicked because you wanted to learn more about this. So this is front and rear brake caliper tool kit. So this is pretty much to twist the caliper back in. It's right there. And then you'll get this, and then you'll get a bunch of connections. What I've noticed is that this M connection does the best, and let me tell you what the M specifications are. That's 42 millimeter. So this fits very nicely into the grooves that are on the caliper. So what I'm going to do before starting is I'm going to use PB Blaster to grease it up a little bit. Make sure you do not spray the brake cleaner on the rubber part because that can dry it out. This needs to be lubricated. Spray PB Blaster, maybe let it sit a little bit, and then it's only going to twist one way. So if it doesn't twist one way, it's going to twist the other way. Okay, I got my tool set. I got the adapter on, and now we're going to insert it. It's hard to do it with one hand, but it gets inserted like that. And now we start twisting to fit, and then twist to push it back in. Okay, so I was able to bring the piston up this way, and now you can see the tool, how it's sitting. You can tighten it up, so push it up. So now these are gapping enough that it's holding it tightly. And then now we twist this one way or the other, and this should start twisting this thing down. Sometimes it's tight. Don't give up. Make sure the boot doesn't tear. So if it's twisting, grease it up a little bit. Make sure that there's not much stress on this boot. This is very important. That helps when you grease it up. When you PB Blaster it, it kind of loosens the gunk. Alright, so at some point it's gonna stop on its own. It's no longer gonna twist, and that is when you know that you have gotten to the end, and now it's seated all the way. And mine looks flush like this, And there you go. You're done with compressing the piston. Now to move on to putting your new brake pads and putting it all back together. Okay, so these are my new brake pads. Now before you put them inside, you're gonna notice that one of them has a clip. This is actually a wear indicator. So when your brake pads wear out, at some point this is gonna start making contact with your disc, and it's gonna start squealing. And this is supposed to be on the inside, on the top, because once the wheels turn this way, this is going to start sliding, and it's going to start clicking and squealing, and that's how you know you need new brake pads. So this is going to go inside like that, and then the one that's without it is going to go on the outside. Before we put it in, we gotta grease it up. So when you buy a brake pad kit, here's what I purchased, pretty cheap online. It's gonna come with a grease packet. You need the grease on the tongue, all of it, because that's gonna make contact over here. You wanna make sure that it is sliding in and out just fine. And then on top, where the caliper is going to sit and push. Okay, I cleaned up the clips with brake cleaner, both front and back, and I greased up the tongue on all 4 sides. Oops. And I'm going to slide them inside. All right, the brake pads are in. Now we're gonna go ahead and grab our springs. I'm gonna use new ones. My old ones look a little bit rusty. I don't want to take chances with the rusty ones, so we're gonna use new ones. And there you go. There's tiny holes on top, on each side, and they slip right in. Pasted grease on the brake pads where the caliper is going to make contact. Make sure you do not get any grease on the surface where the friction is going to take place. So on the disc or on the shoe itself. No grease over there, just on the back and on the tongue. So now it's greased up. Now we're gonna bring our caliper back in carefully and push it in. Since the piston is all the way in, it shouldn't have any problem going back in. Okay, here we go. Now we gotta put the bolts back in on both sides, and then we remember to line this up and then put the bolt for this one as well. Okay, make sure that these 2 bolts are snug. Put that bolt back in. You're pretty much set. Just double check everything. Make sure you didn't leave any tools, nothing fell off. Everything looks good. Check all the connections, and if everything looks good, and this should rotate freely, you can put your tire back on and follow your proper safety procedures to do all that, and go for a test drive. And if something happens, remember, I'm just a guy on YouTube who is sharing how he did his. So whatever you do, do it on your own risk. I'm not responsible. Thank you for watching.